Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers and the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, and today we're doing video 9 in our Eclectic Heirloom series, and we're going to need the Tim Holtz spinners. That's what they're called, but they look like arrows, and they're held on by brads, and the brads come with them. Okay. And I was going to use magnets, but I think what I'm going to do is I was going to use this spinner, as ornamental only, but I think maybe we'll go ahead and do the spinner closure for real. We're going to also be using it somewhere else in the book, and so I think it would be kind of cool to have one in the front and one in the back. So I guess I kind of gave that away, huh? Because we're done with the back except for the back. So anyway, so let's put the magnets aside, and I'll show you why I was going to use magnets and use the spinner as ornamental. Excuse me. I just had a tomato sandwich for breakfast. I'm not hungry this time. And I feel like I have one of the little seeds from the 24 grain bread stuck in my throat. So anyway, also if you want to get a step-by-step PDF at the end of this video series of all the videos, and so to help you make this book, you can print it out and follow along with the steps and the video, then just go on over to Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group and join up. And every time the end of a video series comes along, they all get a complimentary PDF, and that's the only way that you can get them. Okay? All right, so what we're going to do, what we've done so far, we've still got 1, 2, and 3 left to do. Then we've got page 4, which is what we're going to do today. Then we've got our flat stack that we did already, and we've got the flip up, we've got our writing card, and then that opens to here, and that closes, and then this closes, and then we have the back. Okay, so that's what we've done so far. We're going to work on page 4. We're going to add double doors and then some pockets. So this should be a pretty easy video. If it gets to where it's too short of a video, then I will add something else to it to make it about an hour long. All right, so what you're going to need is I actually have a manila folder scrap that should be big enough to do for both. Now that I look at it, oh, that's right, it's not going to be tall enough for 2. So anyway, I've got a scrap to make the doors with. So if you don't, then you're going to need a manila folder. And then I'm going to use this little flip scrap that I have, and I'm going to cut it up and use it for the pockets that we're going to need. And then I've got, well, I was going to use one of these for a pocket. If I decide to do that, let's see how wide it is. The whole thing is 5. Wow, that might work on the 5-inch side on the inside. So let's keep a hold of that. Let me set it up here. And then we're going to have a diagonal belly band, and we're going to use this piece with the tab in it for that. If it looks like we're not going to be able to add it diagonally, then we'll add it vertically. We don't want the card, falling out the bottom. And you're going to need some writing cards for this section. And we haven't really done writing cards. I've gotten way behind on it, and I probably won't add them by the time we do the flip through. I'll probably do the flip through and then use a piece of paper to show where all the pockets are. Okay? Just because I'm so far behind, and I've been having trouble finding paper the right color. I tried cream, and that seemed like it almost looked white. Let me show you. Oops. Cream colored. and that looks kind of white against it, which may not be bad. And then I got tan, so that may not look bad, but I'm putting it up against the papers, and the tan just isn't quite the right color. I also got another different color paper. In fact, I got two. I got a craft colored paper, and I may use that to show you a couple of writing cards, but we'll have to wait and see. Like I said, I probably won't be adding all the writing cards in just because of the length of the videos. Okay, so on page 4, what we're going to need is we're going to need 2 pieces. One is going to be 4 by 8, and half an inch of that is going to be the flap. Okay, so we're going to need to do this. Let's set this over here for just a second. We're going to need the piece to be 4 inches wide. Yeah, and that'll give us 3.5. So we need it to be 4 inches wide. Let's see how wide this is. Let's see, and the score lines are on this side. So this is 5. You know, we could use it for the other side. Why don't we use it for the other side? And let me see here. Let me think about what I'm doing here. Well, that would make it 4.5. Let's try that and then see what we got. So we're going to cut it just a little bit inside this factory fold, because the factory fold is kind of raised up like a little bump, and we don't really want that on our page. So let's go just a little bit to the inside, if I can get that lined up. Okay, I think part of it is that I got that sitting there. Where is that fold? Let me do this. I'm going to mark it at the top and the bottom. Once you get that manila folder in there, it's hard to see where you're at. So once we've got this, then we can put it just a little bit inside, and just a little bit inside. Okay. And then we're going to need it to be 8 inches tall. So we're not going to have 2 pieces, so we're going to have to cut a piece out of this other side. My voice has decided not to cooperate because of the seed in my throat. Okay. Oz is making his debut. 8 inches wide, or 8 inches high. And then let's score this at 2 lines over. Oz. Let's see if that works. I don't know. I feel like it just said 2 inches over, and I meant 2 lines or a half an inch, whichever's closer. Yeah, half an inch is going to be right on one of the lines. Let's fold this in. And then we'll score it. Burnish it. And we'll miter the corners. And remember, mitering the corner just means angling it so that it you don't see the corner straight across when you've glued it on. So let's take a look at this and see what we've got. Oh yeah, that's plenty wide for the top one. In fact, I'm thinking it's too wide. Let's measure this at, let's take our score line, open that up. So it's going to be half. Yeah, so let's put that at 4. No, 4.5. And that'll give us 4, which is, it's only 6 inches wide, so that should be fine. So let's cut at the score line. And then once we fold this over on the inside, it still looks a little far over for what we want. What am I measuring incorrectly? It's 4. Oh, I needed 3.5. So we need it to be 4 inches wide. That's what's wrong. I'm going by 8. Okay, so this is going to be 3.5 inches wide plus a half. So that's going to be a total of 4. Ah, it looks better. 3.5. And then we'll make the other one at 3. So we'll need a 3 by 8. So that'll be a 3.5 by 8. So let's measure the height at 8. And then we'll measure the 3.5 to where we're cutting off the logo. We can always use it for a pocket later, you know, and have it turned under the other way where you can't see it. Okay. Score this at a half. Come here, ruler. Ruler's not in his home. Can't have that now, can we? Oh no. So let's score this at a half. It's 3.5. Yep. Let's score it at a half. And then we'll fold it. If you're using printed paper, you want to score with the side you want on the front down. It just folds better that way. This manila folder, it won't matter. We just flip it over to the side we need. We'll miter the corners. Okay. Now we'll just fold this one this way, or flip it that way, and that's why it doesn't matter with a manila folder. Okay, now let's see if we can open this up and make it easier to work on. So what I was going to do was add magnets on and just make the closure decorative. And I have some of these little black closures, but I don't have, they come with little screws because they're actually for picture frames. So you can find these under the, you know when you put the back on a picture and then you swing those little pieces to hold the back on, that's what these are. But they come with little screws. So what you need is little tiny brads to add on to these, and just get some black ones. I don't have any, and so I can't use one of those as a decorative closure, which is what I was going to do. Now, so we could still use magnets. That would be easier, wouldn't it? We could have it overlap. Well, let's glue them on. Okay, so this page folds here. So we're going to glue this on. I'm going to try to glue away from everything else. Looks like everything else is taken up everywhere else. I hope you guys have been following the page by page series with Kyung and I. I think you will find it fun. We're doing a page a week for 2 signatures, so that's going to end up being 40 weeks. You want this right up against the edge. Then we'll fold it and double check, and then we want it even top and bottom. So let's fold it. Oops. And now we're going to have to fold up everything else, aren't we? There we go. Okay. And then we'll put this one on. But we could still use the magnets to hold it shut. I don't mind using the magnets. They're not that expensive to buy. You can get 100 of them for $8.99, $9.99, something like that. Not very expensive, I would say, especially at the rate I go through them, and that you go through them when you follow my projects. You must use the magnets. Yeah, this is kind of hard to glue down because of the thickness. So let's see if we can get this on here. And then this side will be wider than the other. Everybody's lined up. Oh, look at that. Let's double check and make sure we don't have a bunch of glue coming through. Yeah, this page is going to be awkward to work with. I'm just going to tell you that now. I'm going to take our tool here. Oops, and flatten it out so that it folds a little better. That's why I think that magnets would serve us better, because that spinner is just to hold it shut, but then when you go to open it, they're just going to pop open like that. Whereas if we use magnets, then they will hold them shut one at a time until you open them. Okay, so what we're going to do to add the magnets, let's put our bone folder away. So we're going to open this up, and we're going to get out 2 magnets. Let's put our spinner away. need that. Let's get 2 magnets out, because we've already got 2. Even though they're holding on things on the other side, you can still use this side. Let's see which. Okay. Now we're going to need to take each one up and put a piece of tape under it with the tape facing up. Okay. Now we're going to need to do the longest one first. And that's this one. Okay, that's stuck on there now. And we'll do this one. Do the tape. Open it up. Put our tape down the rest of the way. Okay, so now those are closed with magnets. And it's much better, I think. They don't pop open. Once you open one, the other one doesn't pop open. Okay, so all we have left to do on this is we're going to put on our pockets on the inside, but first we need to paper everything. I've pulled some papers. Let's put that up there. I've pulled some papers, and I really like this. I'm trying to decide, and I got this one, and I've gotten this one for the back, but I kind of like these together better. I'm thinking that I'm going to put this on the front on both sides. I wasn't going to, but since this looks like a collage, I think we'll be okay with the looks as far as that goes for doing it. So let's measure our piece. I'm going to leave that little border. Now remember, we're going to have to do it the same on both sides. I'm going to have to cut this one here. And then we're going to have to cut it here. Now when we cut this straight across, if we do the bottom first, then we'll have the height for the other one, and we'll only have to do the width. There's our pockets. And remember, the width on the other one is going to be narrower. If I realized I was going to change my mind and do magnets, I would have done them the same size to where they met in the middle, and it would have been a lot easier to line up the paper. So now that's going to be a scrap. I think that we might do a collage on the cover and use this sheet of paper, because it's got some nice lines that already on it that we can cut with. And then we can also use pieces from the rest of the book from our scraps as well. That'll be kind of fun. Okay, so we're going to take this. Let's make sure on the size. Okay. Okay, now let's glue that down. Let's get the paper trimmer out of the way. And the insides will be easier because we'll just be able to open them and paper them, as far as getting everything lined up and all that jazz. if we do the same amount of border on both papers, then we should be fine. Okay, that looks right side up to me. I just moved the paper. Okay, even the finger's pointing up, which is kind of funny because it could actually point down. Alright, so now let's figure out the width for this one. We've already got the height. So now if we just calculate, see, the height is what we needed to line up. So all we have to do now is just do the width, and we'll be fine as long as we line it up on the paper the same as far as when we glue it on, up and down. Okay, we want to make sure our edge is straight. And then our edge is right here. It's kind of hard to see. Put it right there. Oops. Whoopsie. Kind of made a little pencil mark on the manila folder there. Not a good idea. And I know I didn't put the glue lid back on. I get gunk. Now I have glue gunk, which is not a good thing to have. And we'll cut this from here. Crash bang. See, we can take these scraps and cut them up to do the cover. So I think that'd be kind of cool. So then we're going to glue this on this side. Let's double check the size. Yeah, that should be fine. And then when we do it, we'll just double check and make sure we've got a smaller margin on the bottom. It looks like a little bit larger on the top due to my straight, alignment. We'll just put more glue on this so that we can move it around from this side to make sure that we have everything lined up. Okay, we want to make sure it's right side up. Then we're going to put it on. I think we said we had a smaller margin at the bottom. Let's take a look at this. Let's straighten this up a little bit. Okay, let's take a look at it. Oh, it lines right up. Lines right up at the top. Looks like we have a little bit of a pencil mark left. So now that's our cover. Give that just a second to dry. Now we're going to have to do the same thing on the inside. And I think we'll use this paper on the inside pockets. So we'll get this papered. Here's our width. Here's our height. Do our height first, just like we did on the front, and then we'll have the height for both. I think I get a bonus point for seeing that line right off. Oh, sure. I just had to be a smarty pants, didn't I? There it is. I should have looked for the musical line that did not fit. One of these is not like the other. So that'll be the inside on that one. Let's label this one right. And then top. There's writing on this, so it's directional, just like the fronts were. This one's narrower. But we do it the same way. Let's see. A little bit of a false line there. Let me make sure it's not too wide. No, it should be fine. And then we'll measure our left side. And we'll mark the top. Obviously, as one is right, the other one's the left. Or maybe not so obviously. This also gives us more scrap to make pockets with from doing the pages or the doors. So let's glue this one on. Okay, we labeled the top, so let's just pretend like we know what we're doing and line this up. Looks like this is a little bit crooked. Nope. Looks fine. We just made it a little wide, that's all. It almost looks like this side of the manila folder is just a little bit crooked, but I'm not sure that it's possible. So it must be one of those optical illusions. I hate those. I don't know about you. I like them when they're for fun, but I do not like them. Sam, I am. What is that? I do not like them in the sun. I do not like them just for fun. I do not remember. I could just make up stuff that rhymes, but I do not honestly remember the ways that he did not like green eggs and ham. I know that he did not like them, Sam. I am. I do know that. Okay, I'll put this one down. Now all we have to do is paper the back real quick. Wow. Let's do it this way. Wow. Let's move it in just a little bit. This one's going to be just as quick as the others. And line it up with that. It's going to make the width about here, and no, it's not. I'm looking at the fold in the wrong spot. Okay, so the width is right here, and the height is right there. Now this one, if we cut the width first, we'll end up with a full 6-inch sheet. And then we'll cut the bottom off. Some sections don't have to be super difficult. Let me just say that. Let me just put that out there. You can have just a regular section, and there's nothing wrong with that. They don't all have to be, you know, flips and folds and double things and whatever. You can have just a section that is pockets and things. Why does that look crooked? That definitely looks like I cut it crooked. Well, 5 1/2 and 1/8. That's 5 5/8. That is a little wide at the bottom. Or not. Wow. So either this part is a little crooked, or because of the way these are glued on, it just looks crooked, or because the pattern is a little eye bending. So let's glue this on. And there's no top or bottom to this. Well, I should have known it was even by looking at where I cut the pattern. And there you go. And there it is. glue that over the magnets. Okay. Now I was thinking maybe we would put 2 smaller pockets on this side, but I'm not sure that I really want to cover up all the music. And then 1 pocket at the bottom on this side. So that's what I was thinking. So let's cut this in half. Or we could just cut off each end and we'll have that little notch. So let's measure our width on this side. Yeah, let's just do this. Now remember, we're going from paper to paper, not edge to edge. I'm not going to glue them down until I get both cut to make sure I don't have any mistakes. Okay, so that will be this side. And then we'll flip it over. See, that way we've got that kind of little notch. No, we want to do this one this way. And once we have the height, we'll cut the width right there. And I'm not planning on papering these. Okay. That looks nice. I like that. Okay, now let's glue these on. My hands are so cold, my ring is coming off. Purple to match my purple today. You wouldn't believe how many rings I have. Or maybe you would. I don't know. I was in a club and I got my rings for very, very inexpensively. So since this is a pocket, I'm just going to do the bottom and the 2 sides. Oops. And I ended up with a big glob of glue. So I'm not putting any more glue down, I'm just spreading this glue. Okay. We wanted the little notch to go towards the inside, so let's double check that we glued it that way before we glue it on. We want to cover the paper. And we'll glue that on. Now, there's some imperfections on the paper on this side, but it's not our pencil marks or anything like that. It's just little brown imperfections in the manila folder. Okay, so we're going to flip this over, put our thumb on the side we don't want to glue. And we'll go farther up on this side. And go across. And then we'll go up. Let's do that in case we need to move it around a little bit. I just stuck my finger in the glue, which is always helpful if you want to glue your finger to the paper. Now it looks like I cut that one short. that is not making me happy at all. Now it looked fine when I held it down. Let's wipe the glue off as well as we can. Which, I mean, it's easy enough to get another piece like this. I just don't understand why it didn't fit. Nope, it's a good 1/16 of an inch too short. Okay, let's see if any of these are tabs. Oh look, we've got one here. Doesn't matter if they're different heights. It is eclectic after all. Okay, let's be a little more careful here. And then we'll just take the glue eraser and erase that extra glue. Boy, he's being a little smarty pants this morning, isn't he? Oz? Sorry about that. Covered the mic, but I had to yell a little bit louder. Okay, now let's take our glue eraser. We don't have to erase all the way down. We just want to make sure we're far enough down that it doesn't show over the top of our new pocket. Okay. One. That one wasn't for you unless you're barking. Are you barking? It's all right if you are, and you don't have to tell me. All right, so let's double check this. You know, the manila folder's crooked. It's the only explanation. Alright, so let's make this a smaller straight pocket. Oz? I'm going to have to put you guys on pause in just a minute if he doesn't straighten up. Okay, so let's go by the bottom measurement and not the top for the width. Maybe the paper's a little crooked. Okay, I'm gonna put you on hold and I'll be right back. Okay, let's yeah, that's the other one that was too short. Okay. Let's double check this because I had to go away and yell at the dog. No, I don't yell at him, but I'm just saying. I had to go give him a stern no more barking talking to. If this doesn't come out correct, we'll just put a small straight one because because yeah, going by the bottom measurement worked out. I'm going to cut it out just a little bit. Let's see if we do that. Okay, I'm just going to have to trim it. It's just crooked and that's all there is to it. So we're just going to have to glue it on, and then I'll trim that little hair off, and then that'll be that. Could use a little more glue on there. My glue would cooperate. Let's see about folding. It's going to be a little close. See if I move it like this. Yes, I realize this is going out past the paper. Okay, so that'll work. I'm just checking for where the magnet is. Okay, now back here, I was thinking about putting a diagonal belly band, but you know, with these pockets like this, I think the vertical will be better. Because it's just too much manila folder at the bottom. So let's cut it off here. And we'll cut it off here. And I'm just gonna not take a chance on cutting it crooked by twisting sideways. Well, that won't work, will it? Oh, for goodness sake. These two little tabs might come in handy. You could use them as little tucks maybe. Alright, let's double check this. From paper to paper. Yep, looks fine. Bring it back on camera. Okay, we're going to glue it on. And then all you'll need is 2 tags for the inside pockets, 2 long ones, or cards, or writing paper. Writing paper was what I originally had in mind. You know, just fold up a couple a piece of coffee dyed paper. Okay, so we've got that. Okay, so that's our page. Just like that. And it opens and it opens. We get the two pockets and we have the belly band in the middle. Okay, and that's an hour. So I'm going to stop the video here, and I will see you in the next video. And then we'll be doing we'll be working on, let's see here, we'll be working on 2 and 3, which we're going to have flip outs on, I believe. And yeah, something like that. Not really sure. And these are our last 2 pages, except for the covers. So we're getting there. All right. I will talk to you in the next video, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay. Bye-bye.